Hi guys, welcome to day 35. And today we're going to be talking about luck, how to engineer this invisible advantage called luck, how to actually create luck. Because we live in a time where we tend to attribute luck to things, or we just tend to, when things are beyond our control, when things don't go our way, and when life seems favorable to others compared to us, even though we put in maybe the same effort and all of that, we tend to attribute it to luck, right? So we're going to look at what luck actually is and how it can actually be built. It's not something that just happens. So there's a popular verse in the book of Ecclesiastes in the Christian Bible, Ecclesiastes chapter 9 verse 11, that talks about the race is not to the swift, nor the battle to the strong, nor bread to men of understanding, nor favor to men of skill, but time and chance happeneth to them all, right? So when you read a verse like that, right, what you conclude is that this life is not fair. Everything happens by luck, everything happens by time and chance. So maybe you may define luck as the intersection of time and chance, right? And so it's like you don't have control over everything, right? And life just happens. There's just this maybe cosmic unpredictability of the happenings of things around you, and so then you attribute it to luck. But doing that is to misunderstand, first of all, the verse and how life works in general, right? Time and chance does not suggest randomness. What if chance can actually be orchestrated, can actually be engineered? What if luck can actually be created? You can create your own luck. So luck is not something random or mystical or magical. It's something that can actually be created. And notice that when you look at people that you may attribute to be lucky or associate to be lucky, all right, or she's just lucky, or he's just lucky, that's why he's here, that's why he was able to do what he does, right? If you look closely, you'll be able to see like risk taking, you'll be able to see years of practice, of training, you're able to see repeated failures over time, you're able to see courage over time, and quiet positioning, and so much more. So all of these things, trials and errors, patience, consistency, all of these things are factors that contribute to luck that many people do not know, and then blindly associate it with just the randomness, and that the universe just gives to anyone, or just happens to favor anyone as he desires. So Seneca gave a definition of luck, which is that luck is when preparation meets opportunity. So breaking that down, we find out that preparation is controlling. You can prepare yourself, you can control, your growth, your practice, and all of them. But opportunity is unpredictable now, right? So like luck is the intersection, between the controllable and the uncontrollable. So luck is understanding that yes, there are things that you cannot control, and there are also things that you can control. And to the extent you engage the things that you can control, the more lucky you are, right? So you can actually engineer luck by engaging diligently on the things you can control, right? So the more you engage them, the more your chances of luck get higher, right? Because luck is not just about the unpredictable or uncontrollable. It's like two forces in play. It's the things you can control and the things you cannot control. So an example of things you cannot control is like sudden events, sudden disasters, timing. You can't control the economy, the fluctuation of the economy. You cannot control who gets promoted, who does not get promoted in your office space, and so much more, right? Now, examples of things that you can actually control include your skill development, includes your character, includes your network, your discipline, and your exposure, right? So these are things that are within your control. So it is your responsibility to actively engage these forces that you can control, right? So that you can increase your chances of being lucky. People that claim to be unlucky or experience a lot of bad luck, it's often as a result, most times, right, of an opportunity meeting them unprepared, right? They are unprepared, and so it's like the thing you can control, right? You've not built capacity in it, and so when that unpredictable opportunity collides with it, obviously it's going to look unlucky, right? Because the extent of your preparation, right, does not match up to the quality of the opportunity that is present at that moment, right? And so how do we actually engineer luck? The first one is skill development, right? This just means that the more you grow in a skill, or the more you learn skills and engage them actively, the more doors are open to you, right? So this is just natural, because the more competent you become, the more people will want to employ you or will want to engage you, right, in a particular project. So when this opportunity comes, because your skill set is very diverse, you become lucky, right? But for someone whose skill set is not very diverse and opportunities, they keep seeing job opportunities, but they don't match up, right? Because they've not developed their skills, all right? And to the other person, right, they cannot see that this person has much more skill set than them, and that's why they seem to be more lucky. And someone say that the harder you work, the luckier you are, and this is very true. Not because the universe favors people that work hard. Of course it does, but like, it's just trying to say that the harder you work, the more you're able to build capacity to meet up to that opportunity, the more you're able to, engage in things that can actually make way for you, open doors for you where other people of similar ambition or desires cannot step into. So the second one is visibility. So the truth about this is very simple, right? You cannot be chosen if you're not seen. You cannot be favored if you're not seen. You cannot be helped if you are not seen, in need. So you just have to put yourself out there, right? So not being visible on its own is anti-luck, is against luck. So luck what works with what is seen. Visibility also attracts opportunity, right? So you see that visibility does not just deal with the controllable parts, right? It also has a part to play the uncontrollable part, right? Because the more visible you are, right, the more opportunities you get to see, the more exposure, right? And the more visible you are, or you being visible, is you actually intentionally putting yourself out there, right? So visibility is a very important role because it affects both the controllable and the uncontrollable aspect of luck. One cannot reward what it cannot see. Third one is relationships. You can term it as networking and things like that, right? So what is just trying to communicate is that many of these platforms, right, that people desire, many of them do not just come by merit, they come through people, what we call connections or network, right? And so it comes through many jobs, many fundings, many opportunities, comes through relationship. So the more you're able to intentionally network, connect, and relate with people, the more luckier you are. Not because you're just lucky, but because you have learned this principle of relating with people that gives you a much higher advantage than people that are rather reserved and just expect that they get everything because they worked for it. So relationships are very powerful in engineering luck. So the fourth one, which is like maybe the most important one, is risk. Risk promotes luck, right? Or attracts luck. The more risky you are, the more luckier you are. The more you're able to take the courage and make that call, or send that letter, or approach that person, or do that thing that does not seem normal, but because you don't mind, right? Because you need to get something, so you take all the risk you can take, right? And then at the end of the day, one or two opens up for you, and then other people will tend to call you lucky. Meanwhile, they don't know the kind of risk you've taken to come or to have what you have or to be where you are at the moment. So number 5 is consistency, right? And this one is very obvious. So the more consistent you are, the more luckier you seem to be, because when you've been doing something consistently over the period of 100 days, right? And then finally, maybe at the 100th day, you finally get the results you've been looking for or you've been waiting for, right? And people just think like it's overnight success, probably because they don't see what you'll be doing behind the scenes consistently, and so they just attribute it to overnight success and like, wow, he just came from nowhere, she just came from nowhere. He not just come from nowhere, right? He has been doing something behind the scenes, and that thing that he has been doing consistently behind the scenes has attracted this luck, this favor to him. Now, there also exists a harsh truth after all of these 5 points I've given, right? The harsh truth that even though you're prepared, right, you're consistently preparing, opportunities will still delay, and that one is beyond your control. But the truth is that people that are prepared suffer less when chance strikes, right? The people that are prepared recognize opportunity faster. So there's always an advantage on being more ready on the controllable side, right? There's always an advantage, even though the opportunity may delay, but it's always an advantage to those who are not preparing and are just waiting for that opportunity to land on them. So you see that you do not wait for luck, or luck is not just some magical, mystical thing, right? It's something that you can build through consistency, through taking risk, through through building competence, through building capacity, and then, like we said before, when time and chance intersect with preparation, that is when luck appears, right? So focus on the things you can control, things within your control, and you have a much higher chance of winning on both ends. Alright, I hope you learned one or two things today. See you tomorrow.